Good morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Let me get on the road. How y'all doing today? Hope you had a good Monday. Don't know why I'm talking like that. All right, happy Monday, everybody. I'm dropping off the kids real quick. Gonna start this real estate live Q&A. What is that? Well, every morning it's pretty simple. When I drop off the kids at school, I hit the live button and I start, oh my God, I can't see because of the sun. I start talking. Start answering questions about real estate. I know, you're like, oh, that sounds pretty boring. Well, sometimes, but I mean, if you have these questions, it's not boring. It's pretty damn interesting, I would think. Yesterday I had a problem with the comments, so if you're in here right now, boom, RJ, what's up? Glad to see that. Yesterday I had like nothing there. It was just going in blind, man. It was like talking to the class and none of the kids were participating. I can never be a teacher, by the way. I just have to have people talking to me, so I'll be like, talk to me, do what I say. Morning, y'all. If you can, once you get in the video, hit the like button real quick for me. Tag a friend, share it, broadcast it, leave me a comment. Hey, Letty. And go ahead and put a morning, y'all, right there. We're going to have some good questions today. Today's question is brought to you by Doug Carver. Doug and Nicole Carver, great friends of mine, good family. And he asked me this question. He's like, hey, here's a good question for your live Q&A. I was like, that is a good question. And so his first question up top, I don't know if this is his question. This is a question I want me to ask and answer for y'all. What's up, Jen? Meet my meat. First question is really good, and I'll kind of tell you a story to kind of go back on that one. So when I first started real estate, I still remember showing this one house, and I was with some new clients. I don't even know if I'd sold one or two houses before. I don't think any. And I remember showing this one client this house, and I was walking through. I think maybe I passed the master bath, and I go, oh, okay, this house is nice. I go, the sinks are kind of dated, and things are dated, and I was like, not trashing the house, but I hadn't really had a lot of experience seeing different houses or showing different houses, so I was kind of just going off of what I thought I should do. Good morning to y'all as well. Hello, Nicole Carver. We're just talking about y'all. So I hadn't had a lot of experience showing houses, right? So when I was showing this couple, I was really kind of dogging the house, and I shouldn't have done that because they ended up picking that house. They ended up buying that one, the one that I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of dated. They're like, we love it. What do we got to do? Weird, right? Not weird that they bought it, but how coincidence that I'm being stupid pendejo. And I was like, yeah, no, this one's dated. Don't buy this. And then we saw a couple other houses, and then at the end of the day, they're like, well, we really like that one house. And I was like, oh, they're like, yeah, the one with the dated sinks. We're okay with that. So the point I'm trying to get at is that whenever you're looking at homes, there's going to be some that are brand new, like literally brand new, not even finished the floors and paint yet. There's going to be some that, could be 10, 20, 30, some areas of town, 50, 60 years old. We're looking at a house the other day. It was built in 1964. And the point I'm trying to get at is the question above that my friend Doug asked me to ask, because I think it's a good question, is that which one gives you more? Is it new construction that I see around town, or is it previously owned homes? Well, going back to the sinks, like I was talking about a while ago with that one house that I felt like I was dogging it, I didn't mean to, was that there is a house for everybody. All these houses you see when you drive through neighborhoods, someone lives there. All these houses you see that are for sale with a for sale sign in the front yard, someone's living there and someone else is going to move into it. There's only so many in town that people don't live in. So most of the other houses people live in. So someone owns it, someone's going to buy it. So when you ask what's more bang for your buck, it really depends on what you're looking for. And here's the reason. So a lot of people, whenever they're looking for new construction, they think, okay, well, it's in my budget, right? Like, yep, you got new construction options in your budget. Whatever you're looking to spend, we can find you some options that are brand new. Brand new. Okay, great. But then when you start buying brand new, of course, just because it's the way the market is, you'll find some newer homes, but maybe they're not as big as you want. Maybe the square footage isn't the size you're looking for. Or maybe the yard isn't as big as you're wanting. You're like, ooh, I wanted twice as big a yard. Or you do find one that's the square footage you want, the yard you want, but it's way over what you're looking to spend. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like give and take, right? It's like, well, do I want the big yard or do I want the new home? Or do I want both and I want to spend that much? It's kind of really up to you. I have people that go, yeah, I want a big yard, and then the house I ended up deciding on has got like a tiny, and not tiny, I'll say manageable, a very manageable backyard where in my mind, the way he described it, or they described the yard they were looking for, wasn't the one they picked out, but it ended up being everything inside they were looking for. So whenever you're looking for a home, especially your first home, there's going to be things that you think you want There's going to be things that you're like, yeah, I got to get this, I got to get that. My new house, the house I buy's got to have this. It's kind of like when you buy a car, right? Like, yeah, when I'm going to buy a car, it's got to have automatic start, and it's got to have a touchscreen, and it's got to have Bluetooth, and it's got to have leather. There's all these little things that we want, right? But then when you go to the dealership, they're like, ooh, you want that model? That model costs this. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm cool with a CD player. I'm cool with like a dial, right? So it just depends on what you want to spend and what you're looking for. And once you start looking for these things, once you start looking at homes that are brand new or previously occupied just means someone lives there. It's not a brand new home. Someone might have lived there for 30 years. Someone might have lived there for a year. Either way, it's just classified as that. So it still could be very brand new. And that's another thing too. You got to think about, like, look, just because you're not buying a brand new home doesn't mean you can't buy a semi-new home that's going to have all those things you want, the updates that you want, for a price that is a little bit better than some of the new construction. So which one gives you more bang for your buck really depends on what you're looking for. I have a lot of clients that don't even want to look at new construction. They're like, that's not even an option. I don't want anything new construction. I only want stuff that has character. I only want stuff that's on the Bayside, off of Santa Fe, off Alameda, ranch style homes. I want pier and beam. I want hardwood floors. I don't want any tray ceilings. I don't want any of that new stuff. I want this, and they have a certain style in mind. So again, depends on who you are, what you're looking for. I could have two people with the exact same budget with two really different styles and tastes, to where one of them, yeah, is looking for the new construction and loves it, and the other one's like, no, I don't want that. I want this. And it's just something else completely different that they're gonna love. Hold on, I'm on the freeway, guys. Give me a second. Let me make sure I'm safe. It's damn busy. What's everybody doing right now? Going to school or something? By the way, I'm Gino, answering questions for real estate. If you have any questions you want to ask, you can ask in the comments before I get to the second one. And I'm losing you. All right, guys, hold on. Taylor says, our house was brand new, but it really depends on the builder. We were ecstatic to have a brand new build, but I can't read the rest of that because I'm driving. Let me see, is that gonna stay? I wonder if it's the vibrations. Can you feel my vibrations? Adicelli, hello. Adicelli likes her steak well done. I'm not calling her out or anything. All right, second question, unless anybody has another one. I'm gonna get to the second question, which I'm having a hard time remember. It was, this is a really good one. This is a really, really good one. Okay, this is a really good one. So I need y'all to either take notes or tag yourself or tag a friend. This is a really, really important one because it can save people a lot of heartbreak and a lot of confusion. So here's the thing. I know that when people look at houses all the time. Before, like, I have clients that come to me. They're like, we're ready to buy a house. We get them with a lender. We get them pre-approved. We start discussing, searching. And before we even start looking, they already have like screenshots. They have links. They already know some houses they want to take a look at, okay? And they've been saving these things They've been saving these things and waiting until it was time. And I'm going to lose y'all. This is embarrassing. They've been waiting to share these links with me when they got approved to go look for a house. So what I'm trying to get at is that I know people before you actually really start looking, actually go to the bank and talk to realtors. I know you're looking on Zillow. And so what can be really confusing with some of these online websites that showcase some of our listings here in the Coastal Bend or anywhere is that they have these mortgage calculators, and these mortgage calculators are very deceiving because it'll show, hey, this house per month is only this much. And you're like, shit, this $300,000 house is only $900 a month. It's only $1,200 a month. Dude, we can so afford that. So people will be like, well, I want this house because it said it's only this much per month. When you see that, take notes. When you see that on Zillow or Realtor or Trulia or whatever site you're on, those mortgage calculators are calculating 20% down. 20% down of the purchase price. So yeah, if it's a $300,000 house, that's $60,000 it's saying in that little calculator defaulted that you're going to put down, and then you're going to have your other numbers like taxes and insurance, etc. that are going to give that payment that it shows you that might seem super cheap. You're like, damn, that house is cheap. It's not. It's if you put a big, large down payment. Oh my God. You guys, this is just not going to work. Oh, guys. All right, got to be safe for a second. Let's be real. I'm on the highway, and my camera's dying on my live video. Is it worth my life? The answer is no. So I'm not going to touch it. If it falls, it falls. If it dies, it dies. So anyways, if you're on these websites and you're using these mortgage calculators, can you tell the frustration in my voice now? I can hear it. If you're using these mortgage calculators online, you got to make sure you pay attention to the down payment, the insurance, the taxes, etc. So those things, they aren't defaulted for your market. And what I mean by that is when you go in there, all those numbers are probably going to change when it comes to real life. They're going to change for sure when it comes to the down payment, unless you wanted to put 20% down. So most people, whenever they're approved for a home loan, are going to go through FHA or conventional, which is 3.5% down to 5% down. So 3.5% to 5% of whatever the purchase price, that's going to be your down payment, not the 20% like they show you in the calculator. Also, what you got to adjust on there is property taxes. Here in Corpus, it's about 2.875%. That's across the coastal bend. That's pretty much everywhere. If you're in CCISD, it's 2.875%. That's what everyone's paying for property taxes. If you don't believe me, go to noasiscad.net. You can type in your address or your name. It'll pop up your address and you can see it. And it'll show you exactly what you're taxed for. That's a whole other questions, by the way. A whole other morning we're going to do that. But 2.875% is the taxes. Insurance, a good ballpark to spend per month is like maybe 100, 150 a month. That's a pretty good policy. Probably one of the lowest ones you can get into a house for, as far as like, you know, whenever you buy a home, there's your prepaid taxes you got to pay, and there's your prepaid insurance you got to pay. So we cover the taxes, 2.875%, and then you got your insurance, which I said is about $100, $150 a month. These are all numbers you can adjust in the mortgage calculator. So once you do those numbers, it's also going to ask you for interest rate. So interest rate, honestly, are really low right now, like an all-time low. However, if you want to put like an average, it's like 3.38% or 3.48%. You can Google national interest rate average right now, and it'll pop up the first thing on Google. It'll pop up what the average is right now. Last time I saw it was like 3.48, something like that. So you put those numbers in. The point I'm trying to get at is you put the taxes at 2.8%, you put the insurance at $100 a month, and you put the interest rate at like a just put 3.8 to be safe. Like a 4 would be safe. That's pretty average. That will show you what your monthly payment is on a mortgage calculator. So download the Zillow mortgage calculator, use those numbers, text me again if you have questions, but that's how you're going to determine how much your house is. When I have the mortgage calculator, I put these numbers in for people. We'll be at a property and be like, how much is this one going to be? Like, well, going off of what I know your interest rate possibly could be and the type of loan you're going to use, I can give a pretty accurate off maybe by $50 to $100, maybe, if that much, of what a monthly payment will be. And so can you. So you don't need me, you just need the app. And you just need to know what numbers to pump in. That's the problem people have when they use these mortgage calculators online or on their apps. They don't know how to use it. It's like, well, I don't know what numbers to put in here. These numbers look pretty good. It's like, yeah, because they're putting a large down payment, or maybe it has a really low interest rate, or maybe you're not even doing home insurance. All those different things can really play into what the actual mortgage amount is. Does that make any sense? I hope it did. So I got to drop off my car to get an oil change, being real. And I'm going to go ahead and drive in here. But if you have any questions, I'd love to answer right now. Hold on. Oh, we got one right there. Hold on. Ernest asked a good question. Let me turn to here, Ernest, real quick. Ernest asked, how do you calculate the taxes? Is it 2.875 of the appraisal? Not of the appraisal, of the assessed value. So what that means is when you go to noasiscad.net and you see, or hold on. Let me rephrase. Sorry, Ernest. So if you're looking at a house, whatever that purchase price is, the easy way to do it is just go off that number. Just go off that number. It'll do it automatically for you inside the mortgage calculator. Now, don't forget that there's a difference between an appraised value and assessed value, which we can get into on another lesson. But to answer your question, Ernest, yeah, you just throw it in there, 2.875, and it'll do the rest for you. There's nothing you have to adjust. You don't have to tell it like, oh, here's the number to do it on. It already knows what number to do it on. Let's see. Really, Gino, sorry. What's up, Penny? Hey, guys, I got to get down. I got the buyer's guide, seller's guide going in the comments. My email, my phone number. And you can call or text me anytime today, any day. If you have questions about buying or selling a house, I will give you a no bullshit answer. And it's funny when people call and they go, all right, I need a no bullshit answer. It's like, all right, you got it. And also, I know sometimes these things can be very personal when it comes to selling a home or buying a home. Maybe it's a personal situation. Maybe you're just trying to figure some things out on your own. Maybe you don't want anybody to know. It's very common that we sell houses, and sometimes we don't put a yard sign. They're like, oh, I don't want so-and-so to know. I don't want the family member to know. It's like, okay. So I get sometimes this stuff can be something you want to kind of keep close to the chest. You're like, okay, look, I don't really want to I don't know, this is very personal to me, so here's what's going on with me, and here's my situation. If that's the case, call us. We deal with that all the time, and don't feel like you can't talk to someone about these situations. Even if it's a situation where we had someone the other day where they had this house they've just been sitting on for like a year, 2 years, and it's just a shell of a house. It's nothing. There's no walls. There's nothing really in the house. It's like a skeleton. But they bought it and they had intentions to do stuff with it, but they don't know what to do with it now. So they called and said, hey, can you help us out? And we do buy houses cash. So in this case, we're like, yeah, we'll give you this much for it. She's like, perfect. I can just get out from under it, I get my cash back, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So situations like that, give us a call. Phone number, email, all my contact info in the comments. Buyer's guide, seller's guide. You can download them in the comments. If you have any other questions, if you're watching this on the replay, because it's Tuesday, August 20th at 8:04. I think it's 20th. So if you're watching this on the replay and it's not that time, you can still ask me a question and I'll get back to it and I'll help you out. You guys have a great day. Be safe. Happy Tuesday. If your kids are going back to school today, be extra, extra safe. Watch out for school zones. Bye, guys.